Hi, welcome back with another video with Key
Your boy Caleb.
Table Talk. So today we're going to be talking about
anger issues, relationships, and mental health. You want to start off?
yeah. So what do you think about mental health?
I think it ties into all three. I think sometimes when people have mental health, you have to treat them a little differently, but not too differently from regular people. You just have to be a little bit more easier with them, because you never know when something simply you say something simple that might trigger them. It might make them do something that they're not supposed to do, or they don't mean to do.
For me, mental health, I go through it all the time. I do have a few mental health issues. It's hard sometimes to deal with because it's like, for me, I'm always in my head thinking. It just takes a toll on you and your body, mentally, physically, everything. And sometimes it's hard to process like how to feel. And some people don't understand mental health for real. They think it's like don't exist, or it's not a real thing, or quote unquote it's all in your head type, but it's really not. It's a real thing.
That's true.
So how do you, if you have mental health issues, how do you deal with that? Or if you don't have mental issues, how do you deal with other people with mental issues?
To deal with my mental issues, I smoke. And dealing with people with other mental issues, I'm learning that sometimes the same conversation you would have with someone else, you couldn't have that conversation with them. You would have to reword your words differently. You have to watch what you say. And then sometimes I think in relationships with people with mental health issues, certain things causes other issues that they might not know about.
So for me, like I said, I deal with mental issues, specifically with bipolar disorder and anxiety. It's very hard for me, but I have worked on it a lot, and I see that I've kind of, not saying I've outgrown it as an adult, because I still struggle to this day, but I have been better with my anxiety. Slightly with my bipolar, I think I can work a little bit better on that, but it's kind of hard to work on that when I feel like, for me, the way I see certain things, it kind of upsets me a little bit. Not gonna lie to y'all, I have an anger issue, and I try to work on it a lot. Like, I've been in therapy as a kid. As an adult, I haven't really been in therapy or anything. I've just been like pretty much smoking, and smoking has helped me a lot better than I thought it would. And then not just smoking, just like keeping myself calm, meditating helps. Walking away from a situation when it caused me to rage helps. So I'm learning different coping mechanisms to deal with the situations. I used to have a hard time with talking to people, speaking to people, just simple conversations, just because I used to think people were judging me or just look at me different or whatever the case is. I don't know why I was thinking that, but that's just, I guess, all in my head. And I had to realize, like, there's people out here who will actually, like, listen to me and actually like me. Like, I used to have struggle with being able to have friends and stuff, or be able to be around a crowd of people Now I could be around a crowd of people. It gets overwhelmed sometimes, but I'm getting more comfortable with it. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to. I'm learning how to communicate a little bit more and learning how to deal with other people and their personalities and their attitudes and their mental health issues as well while dealing with mine.
So do you think that's going to help you when you start doing tours and shows?
Definitely. I think it's gonna. I think even though I'm nervous and stuff like that, I think since it's music involved, that's my comfortability. Like that's what I'm most comfortable at with music. It keeps me relaxed and calm. So with doing music, yeah, I'm afraid to be around people, but the music is gonna take over that and get rid of all that nervousness and afraid. I can get over fears and stuff like that. So I think I'll be pretty good, pretty fine with that.
So what about relationships? What things do you think happen in relationships that cause them to go downhill? What things do you think happen to make people partners trip out? Stuff like that.
To me, it's all about how you come off towards a person or how you speak towards a person. Like with me specifically, it's all about how you talk to a person. Like you can say anything you want to me, but like sometimes you have to say things that don't come off kind of like you trying to always yell at me or trying to always come at me. You feel me? So like I guess you could say the way you talk to a person.
So what if your partner asks you, or say he doesn't like, or what if your partner, he or she don't like something and they wanted you to change it? Would you?
Yeah. If it's the right change, if it's a good reason why, yeah.
Like say your partner didn't like that your friends with someone you had sexual relations with and wanted you to like not talk to them no more. Would you?
I mean, I would, but it depends on, like, because some people I actually built a friendship before the sexual part came about. Like, before the sexual part even came about, I feel like the friendship was always there. Yeah, we did what we did.
No, I'm more saying, like, do you feel like how you feel is more important than trying to compromise with your partner?
I mean, the compromising part, it plays a big part because you should want to compromise, but at the same time, like, you can't expect for somebody to just change overnight. Like, you can't expect for somebody to just be like, okay,
I see
I'm
that
gonna do
situation
this.
as like a 50-50. Because it could be switched around.
But especially,
like, what if there was somebody in my phone I was friends with and you didn't like them? And what if I was like, well, me and them are friends. I don't see what's wrong with me having a friend. But that ties into not being able to compromise.
But at the same time, it's just like say a girl and a guy, they're together. They have childhood friends, and your girlfriend doesn't like the childhood friend, whether it's a boy or girl. I feel like in this society, people are always putting a gender to something. Like when it comes down to a relationship or anything, people put a gender to everything, and I feel like it isn't fair because I know how people's mindsets are, but at the same time, it's like, why everything have to have a gender on it? Why everybody have to? It's like females have to be strictly with females. Niggas gotta be with niggas to have friends.
I mean,
I don't think that's fair.
I understand where you're coming from, but if what if your partner's willing to let you have any type of friends? They just want to know your friends aren't going to try you like that.
I mean, yeah, it's a respect thing. I get that.
Or what if,
But-
she didn't like the childhood friend, but what if it was a deeper reason why? What if her reason for not liking that childhood friend, or if your partner sees something in the person that you may not see?
Yeah, it's always that, like, you could tell somebody something and it'd be like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you're right. But you can't just force them to be like, oh, I gotta cut them off just because my girl or my man said this.
Me personally,
Or
if I was
feel this type of way.
Me personally, if I'm in a relationship and I'm serious about the person, and that person comes to me and says, I don't like this person, I don't want you talking to them, I'm gonna ask why. And then I'm gonna think about each side.
I got a question. So, what if, like, say you and your girl, pretty much, or just in general, you and your friend had a relationship. Put it that way. Your friend had a relationship, and your homie was with a girl, and she had all these friends, and he didn't like none of them, and he just said, "Oh, you gotta block all of them. You can't talk to none of them." Do you understand? Like, you think he would understand how she would feel in that situation? Like, she gotta not have nobody, and she has to start over for friends, and it's already hard for her to kind of make friends already. Like, would he understand that for her? Like, how would that go into play?
Yeah, I feel like he would understand, and he will allow her to have friends. But then at the same time, it's 50-50. Maybe it's a reason why he said he don't like none of those friends. But then if he does let you keep all those friends, and he keeps the reason why he don't like them inside, it's going to be a bunch of I told you so. Or kind of knew that was going to happen.
But that's not all the time, though. Like, sometimes it could be like I told you so, but at the same time, like, you can't just tell them, oh, I don't want them around. Oh, I don't want you talking to them. Block them. Like, that's kind of like pushing it a little bit, just because they've been around them for a while, and you're coming back in the picture, or you're in the picture, and you really don't know them from a can of paint. Like, you can't just judge it based off of a conversation they had, or based off of what you've seen or known. You can't go all the time because you don't even know them yourself.
That's true. Well, the guy can also go about it by just letting that person have friends.